Facebook and some major American investors are pumping billions of dollars into India's internet giant JIO. So what's the deal? We're going to discuss it. All right, it's time to boost your news IQ. Facebook are pouring billions of dollars into Indian telecom operator JIO platforms, all of it in an effort to get a slice of the booming telecom economy in India. So joining us now to discuss is Boom Bust co-host and investigative journalist Ben Swan. So Ben, you and I talked about this a few weeks ago, Facebook making a big play to try to get about 9% stake in the telecom company. Who else is jumping in now?
Yeah, as we mentioned, Manila, Facebook did about 9.9% of JIO Technologies in exchange for about $5.7 billion that they paid in. It's the most that they've invested in any company since they bought WhatsApp for $19 billion. So $5.7 billion came from Facebook. But now in the last few weeks, we still see Silver Lake, which is a big VC firm. They've put in $750 million. And then also another Austin-based company called Vista put in a $1.5 billion stake. And that happened just 2 weeks ago. So we're seeing Silicon Valley really doubling down, pushing into India right now and trying to get as big of a slice of that pie as possible.
Huh. So why is JIO platform such a hot thing right now, this hot commodity for private equity firms to hop in, and especially right now at this time?
Well, look, India is a huge market. We all know that. It is a growing market. And one of the reasons that Facebook got involved with JIO is because Facebook has tried to get into India multiple times before, and it hasn't worked. It's not been received well. JIO Reliance and Reliance Industries in India is a huge company. It has a massive telecom industry there, but it also has created its own version of Netflix there, its own version of Spotify there. And so essentially what they do is they have the telecom industry, and then they create these extra services as add-ons that people can basically upgrade to. And so they're pretty powerful across the nation of India. I believe they have about 355 million customers that belong to just JIO Reliance. I mean, we're talking about the population of the United States is their customer base in India. So they're a huge company, and they're pushing forward pretty steadily right now.
And so JIO Platforms is owned by someone called he's a billionaire, we should say. His name's Mukesh Ambani. His company, Reliance Industries. You just mentioned their $9 billion of equity stake in JIO Platforms has been sold to American investors in just the last few weeks, namely Mark Zuckerberg. So why is Ambani making this play? He's already a billionaire.
Well, he is already a billionaire. He's not just a billionaire. Our viewers in India will recognize his name because he's also the richest man in all of India. So when you hear his name, there's a lot of power and a lot of influence there. The problem is he's very, very diversified, including having a lot of holdings in oil and petrochemicals. And so he's been losing money because of what's going on right now worldwide in terms of energy prices and oil in those sectors. So he's trying to make up for it over here with Reliance Industries and with JIO Telecom specifically. And one of the things he's doing, as you mentioned, is he sold about $9 billion to American investors in just the past couple of weeks. But on top of that, he's also working a deal right now with the Saudis and Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund, as well as Abu Dhabi's sovereign wealth fund. Both of them are looking at putting in between $1.5 billion and $1.2 billion respectively. So between the two of them, we're talking about another almost $3 billion being poured into this company at this time. It's a good thing for his company. I'm not sure it's necessarily a good thing for the people of India when you have that many outside investors, including, you know, the Facebooks and the Saudis coming in and buying large stakes of this telecom company.
Well, I mean, for the Saudis and for the Emiratis, they probably need to diversify their portfolio away from oil right now, too. So, you know, maybe they got to go into the tech field.
Yeah, and real quick, you know, the Saudis have been doing that here in the U.S. They are major players in almost every major Silicon Valley tech company. They're now doing it in India as well.
Yeah, and like you said, a much bigger market there than here in the U.S. So we will see how this goes. Ben Swan with that tech update for us. Thank you.
Thank you.